Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another review. It's not a figure this time. This is the replica, the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Power Morpher by Hasbro. So I'm very curious to see how this will turn out. I actually have the Bandai Legacy Morpher, and I got this one at a great deal on like an Amazon warehouse deal. I think I got it for like 60 bucks, maybe 70 after tax. So I got a really good deal, and I really like this thing. The diecast is really nice. So there's going to be a lot of differences between this one and the other one based on pictures and stuff that I had seen. Because this one, whereas the Morpher itself is diecast, the Hasbro one I believe is plastic. The only diecast that one is those power coins. We get completely different looks for the power coins, where these ones have a dark wash over them and really are dark, but the Hasbro ones are nice shiny gold. So we will see kind of how everything lines up and compares, and then I'll talk about this Morpher and what I think of it. So here we go. The box has a similar style of art that we see with all the Lightning collection. Up at the top of the box we get the entire team there. On the back of the box we see the light up features, and then the stand and everything to hold the Morpher itself. So really excited about that. In case you guys want to know, there is the UPC. Now let's get this opened up. Okay, and it's not really important, but this is how it sits in the package, and my first reaction is, wow, that thing is small. So let's see how it really is. Okay, so there's some instructions included. One of the weird things that I noticed is that it says it's for 18 plus. I think that's kind of odd. Now I get anybody that watched the show would definitely be over 18, but why wouldn't kids want to get something like this? I just think that's a little bit odd, not that big of a deal. It shows you how to place the power coins onto that stand, how to place the Morpher onto the stand, and there's some assembly required. Like one, we get this piece right here that needs to plug into this stand. Like so. This is just all, you know, a hard plastic, thin, cheap, very cheap feeling stand, which isn't that big of a deal. And then the belt clip, as you can see here, it would just, whoops, kind of clip over your belt as if you were really wearing the Morpher, and I think it just sits in there. Oh, snaps in there pretty good. So like so, and then this is just going to sit in there. It doesn't do anything. That's it. It just sits. Just lifts right off. It's not secure in there in any way. But, you know, I think that does look pretty good. Now the trick is, how do we get this off the... Oh, you just pull it right on out. So, snap in, snap out, put it on the stand. That's it. Now let's actually put this Morpher to work. I gotta first put in the batteries. It does take 3 AAA batteries, which of course are not included. So, I gotta go do that now. Okay, so the batteries are now in. So I have not pressed this red button yet at all. So this will be the first time, my first reaction as we do it together. And of course there's no power coin, so I may not even do anything yet. Oh, that's cool. So it makes some electric sounds and that kind of thing. So I'm going to grab the Tyrannosaurus Rex power coin. We'll get a better look at these things pretty soon. But you can see it's a nice shiny gold, so I really like that. And then each back has kind of that the drawing of their helmet. So that is actually really cool. So according to the instructions, you just kind of put it in there and you look at the grooves. So like in the coins, it has these little parts that stick out, and then there's little grooves in there, so you can put them in like so, and then you turn it. Oh, and it lights up red. Look at that. Fancy. As you can see. So let's close it. Okay. I don't know how long that goes for. Let's test that out. That could go on forever. I don't... So let's go ahead and close it. Okay, so that is pretty cool. I'm going to keep the light off. Let's check each one of the power coins. So you turn it back to remove it. Let's go Saber-Tooth Tiger. With the yellow lights. I think it looks like they just mix the red and green stuff to kind of give it that effect. But let's go. Okay. Okay, so it sounds like they actually got they used the actual audio clips from the show to get those original actors in there. So that is pretty cool. Let's go Pterodactyl Pink Ranger. Well, that's definitely not right. Mastodon? Are you kidding me? Let's try that shit again. Nope, that ain't right. Okay. So that one's a problem. Let's try the actual Mastodon one now. Can't tell if that's supposed to be black light or pink or what it's supposed to do. Okay, so Mastodon works. Let's go Triceratops. Okay, Triceratops doesn't work. Billy lost his ability to connect to the morphing grid. That's interesting. Let's see. I don't know if mine is defective or what is going on. I'm not sure how it's even supposed to know which coin is in or how that really works. I wonder if you do it like opposite. No, because it won't even fit in that way. So let's try this again, shall we? Maybe Billy Yost didn't give his approval to use the audio. I have no idea, but let's try Pterodactyl one more time before we move on to another something else. Maybe I did that too soon. Ah, we got it. How about that? So I'm not sure what's really causing that issue, so that's interesting. Let's get the lights back on and take a closer look at the Morpher. Okay, so definitely it's already got some issues. You know, either the Triceratops doesn't work at all, why it said Mastodon instead of Pterodactyl, not really sure. The Morpher itself looks pretty good, but it's pretty light, so that plastic feel to it just kind of makes it a little and then it looks like the black is actually painted on, so it's got like a couple little white spots in the paint. Not that big of a deal, but then right here, that black just doesn't quite go all the way, so it looks a little faded. It's one of those things where it's very unfortunate that you cannot see the Morpher from the box, so you don't know how yours is going to look until you actually open it up. Now, maybe nobody's going to be super picky on it, you know, I'm not really sure, but when you're spending 50 bucks for the Morpher, you definitely want to get your money's worth and want to get something that's of good quality. So that's that. Taking a look at the power coins though, I think these look really nice. So nice shiny gold, and on the back we have the Black Ranger Zack, Pterodactyl, Pink Ranger Kimberly, Tyrannosaurus, Jason Red Ranger, Saber-Toothed Tiger, Trini Yellow Ranger, and Triceratops Blue Ranger. So that's pretty cool. Now let's actually compare the two Morphers, the Lightning Collection to the Legacy. Okay, so I have the two Morphers side by side, and surprisingly, the Hasbro one is actually bigger. I don't know why I thought it was smaller. Maybe just because the package itself was quite larger. So in the package, it looks a lot smaller. So it's just kind of crazy to me. It's actually a little bit thicker, a little bit taller than the Bandai Legacy version, but the Legacy version is so much nicer. It just really is. It's that die cast. It's heavy feeling. This one's plastic. It's not, the Hasbro one isn't terrible, but man, the Legacy one's just, it's just so nice with the die cast, that chrome shiny look to it. Power Rangers round circle is a lot larger. I'm not sure which one's show accurate at this point. I didn't take a close look at what was in the show. Want to think that the Hasbro one's probably a little bit more accurate with the smaller red circle. I'll actually take a look at that here shortly, but it's a big difference in Morpher. And then we get the red light, whereas the Hasbro one, we get this kind of like, you know, you get the electrical board that is actually showing back there. So the Legacy one really gives off a better look to it. But the secondary market on the Legacy one can be ridiculous. Even with the Hasbro one coming out, that one is still just crazy expensive. So those are kind of some of the things to look at when looking at it. Getting a little bit closer, let's compare some of these power coins, and they both have their positives and their negatives. So looking at the two, we have the Legacy collection and the Lightning collection. So it's hard to say if it's the dark wash that really brings out a lot of the details, but you could see a major difference in there. Now look, you could tell that they kind of used obviously whatever original power coin design to produce it, but the Legacy one just looks like it has more details. But again, I think that's just in that wash. When you get little like two-tone color look to it, as opposed to just all shiny gold, it's really hard to tell. Although, let's look at the saber-tooth tiger. This is a good way to look at it. And they're both about the same weight. I think the Legacy ones are a little bit thicker on the back. They all just have the Power Rangers logo. So it's, you know, there's a little bit more of a lip here. So I think that's why it's just a tad bit heavier. But like looking at the saber-tooth tiger, as you can see there, they didn't really do the fur on the saber-tooth tiger, whereas the Hasbro one does kind of have that fur in the mold of it. So that's a little bit of a difference there. But, you know, it's night and day difference when looking at it. But I think it's going to boil down to what your preference is going to be in terms of the power coins, if you want that shiny gold look or if you want this look here. So that'll just kind of depend. Tyrannosaurus Rex, basically about the same. It's just, again, in the shiny gold versus the not shiny gold. As you can see there. Triceratops. The shiny gold, though, it is definitely difficult to notice the Triceratops because it takes up so much of the coin where you don't really have a lot of the background. So that's something to look at there. So to me, I think Lightning Collection wins. I like the shiny look to it as opposed to the darker look. But again, preference. The Legacy overall, though, I think is definitely the better Morpher. Oh, and I got it to work. So that works. Finally. And when you actually remove the power coin, it makes that noise. Not really sure how I missed this before, but here it is. So looking at Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Black Ranger, and Pink Ranger, you see these notches here is how the Morpher knows which power coin is in there. So these two are very similar. They actually have the same notch right there in that corner, and then the Pink Ranger has this added one. So that's why I kept thinking that the Pterodactyl was the Mastodon. So it's not foolproof, but it's how they know which one is in there. And so like here, Blue Ranger, he's got just the one where it's there. So they're all pretty similar. They're just kind of all in slightly different places, and that's how it knows. So those little notches there. So thought I'd give you guys the heads up on that. Okay, so my final thoughts on the Morpher. Is it worth 50 bucks? Sure. I mean, I think a lot of folks, it'll be an easy pass. Maybe it'll go on clearance. Maybe it'll go on sale. I think if it does, then you definitely should swoop it up. If you can't get a Bandai Legacy Morpher, then definitely pick this one up if you really, really want a Morpher. If you can afford to get a Bandai Legacy one, I highly recommend this one. Even though I like the power coins of the Hasbro one more, the Morpher itself is better. It has the, you know, it plays like the music and stuff. Right, so that's really cool. Whereas the Hasbro one, all it does is say like Tyrannosaurus and then does some light up things and stuff. So it's cool that we get individual lights, so it knows which power coin is in there. It's a little faulty, obviously, but that is pretty cool. The stand definitely is a nice touch because my Legacy one just sits in the box. So at least with the stand, I can actually display it. The power coins sit on there, kinda, sort of. You know, you got the little notch right there, and there's a little indent in there, so it just kind of rests in there, but you know, if you shake it, it may fall. So it's still not the best little setup, but it's definitely better than the Legacy having nothing at all. So for 50 bucks, you know, it's hitting Walmart now. I'll include a link in the video description below. Online, it's still available for pre-order. However, if your store has it, you can order it for pickup and get it. That's what I did with this, because I went to the store, they didn't have it. I was hoping they'd pull the pallets out, maybe it would be on there, but I didn't get lucky. So that night I went online, I ordered it for pickup. The next day they had it ready for me, so I went and just picked it up. And then they had it on the shelf, of course. But so take a look at that, but link in the video description below. You guys let me know down in the comments below what you think of this Morpher compared to the Legacy, or if you have the Legacy, you know, are you going to jump ship to the Hasbro stuff? I'm really happy with my Hasbro one. I may let my Legacy one go and just stick with all things Hasbro for Power Rangers. Aside from my Soul of Chokugan Megazords, the Zords. So that's kind of the route that I'm leaning towards. You know, if I really wanted the Legacy Dragon Dagger, but I'll get the Lightning Collection since I never got that Legacy one. Hopefully they'll do a Green Ranger, White Ranger combo thing eventually, like the Legacy Collection did. I would definitely like to get a gold one for the Green Ranger with his Dragon Coin stuff. So we'll see how it goes, but you guys let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. If you like the video, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.